All right, everyone, welcome in to the weekly stream here on Wednesdays. Davis, Mattek, and Chess. Liam with you. We are going to alternate co-streaming this week. I created the video. Next week, Liam is going to do it. Fear not, though. I'll be making the thumbnails so that Liam is not in charge of the
I'm making
thumbnail
them
action.
too.
Very, very simple. We will be drafting some battle royales. We'll probably highlight some of our best ball teams, maybe some that are doing really good, maybe some that are doing pretty bad. That's pretty fun for the listeners too. But it's just going to be a way for Liam and I to hang out in the regular season. We spend a lot of time hanging out and drafting in the off season. That's what we do, man. That's what we do. How did week one go for you, brother?
Yeah, I mean, before we get into that, I just want to say, yeah, we're co-streaming this each week. So people on my channel, go check out Davis's channel. If you're not subscribed, subscribe there. Davis and I are both on the road to 10K. So we're trying to get to 10K subscribers. The people, they want this show. We're going to alternate who's hosting it. Davis is sharing the screen. It's got all these nice little bells and whistles. I will be creating the thumbnail. It's Davis's choice if he wants to use it for my week. There were some
Spoiler, I won't be.
There were some thumbnail police in my Discord who are like, is Liam stealing Davis's thumbnails? And first of all, that's half the joke of it because Ron and I did some co-streams, just straight ripped Ron's thumbnail. But yeah, we don't need the thumbnail police. Week one, man. Oh, dude, I don't know. Like we haven't had as many. Like the injuries have just been pretty rough. Like first off, it started so awesome. Chiefs look good, Ravens look fun. And then that Eagles game, Jordan Love gets hurt, which is just like I got really excited about the Packers wide receivers, especially Jaden Reed. Got 22% of him in the marathon. Not sure how that's gonna go now.
Well, the points still count, brother. I guess if for the marathon, you can cope and say, well, the 33 spike week still counts, man.
It still counts. I got a lot of likely to. Like, I mean, obviously he's not going to do that each week, but it feels good. I mean, legitimately, like tight end one is in the range of outcomes, which is kind of crazy to say. The overreactions have been huge as well, but excited to get into this week. Yeah, the Jake Ferguson injury hurt me. A lot of injuries hurt me, but nothing seems super long term. How about week one for you, aside from the worthy explosion?
I mean, not great. Like, because Wicks is a huge position for me. The Patriots winning that game against the Bengals was not great for me for the May stuff. I think he ended up being my most drafted quarterback overall. Not that a round 16 quarterback matters that much as long as we get him for the money weeks. Yeah, I mean, Wicks was out there more. Wicks actually ran more routes than I thought, but he's not going to score any points with Malik Willis. So,
well, yeah, but
we'll
like
see.
I've seen, like, I wasn't as into Wicks as some people. Like, I drafted him, but I personally thought, like if that field was a normal field, he probably scores
Well,
two touchdowns.
I was gonna say he had a touchdown that he just kind of misstepped on. He definitely
Yeah.
could have scored. Yeah.
Yeah, he could, like, him and Dobbs are equal in value to me. Like, Dobbs is gonna be more likely to score red
And their
zone
value right
touchdowns.
now is 0. Their value right now is
Well,
at like if we could draft Best Ball Mania again today, like they opened up one lobby and you and I could do it, Wicks would be like a 16th round pick in
no,
Best Ball
sure, yes.
Mania.
As long as Malik Willis is the quarterback, it's not good. Hopefully, we get Ryan Tannehill in there next week. Someone super chatted me. I don't have the ability to pull up comments, so maybe we could do this together.
Adams, wide receiver room of Adams, Rice, Neighbors, Tank, JMO, and Rome. Just start the first three, right? That feels pretty easy, man.
Rice is a lock.
Adams
I
is a
don't know,
lock.
dude.
Neighbors
Like,
is
I
a
would
lock.
be debating like Neighbors feels lockish. Tank versus Adams, I feel you could go with Tank if you want to. JMO too, but I don't know, man. You really can't go wrong there.
Let me help everyone here before we get into our first BR. Free yourself from the tragedy of start sits. Find projections that you like, sort by most points, and start the players you project for the most points. Most fantasy football matchups are not close. Go look at all your leagues. Go look at you're in 10 leagues, you're in 5 leagues. Go look at all your scores this last week and see how many were within even 20 points. You will be stunned how few matchups where it even mattered, where you could have like literally had a 0. You could have literally not started a flex and you still would have won because it's a touchdown base game.
Yeah,
I'm going the other way. I just want to keep Mason. I just want to keep Jordan Mason. I'm not giving up Jordan Mason really in any context right now.
I don't really want to give away Mason either. Like, if you can sell high, do it. I would also say on start sit decisions, one thing you can do, fire up Underdog, go to their pick'em lines, see who has a higher projection there. And yeah, a lot of the decisions where it's just like coin flips, like, guys, find a way to randomize it. When you have too many good options, that's like a lot of questions we get. Just choose one.
Just choose one.
And on this show in particular, like, we probably won't be highlighting too many questions about, hey, should I play this guy or this guy? This is going to be more Davis and I chatting it up. So thank you for the super chat, and good luck.
Right.
Yeah, man, I had a lot of Jordan Mason by, didn't start that way, but got there pretty early where I thought he looked good in the preseason. The reporting was going his way too. Almost ran bad with like the timing of the Elijah Mitchell rule out as far as like getting cheap Mason because he got super
I moved Mason. I moved Mason up in my rankings for the last week. I moved him up to the running back 39, I believe, in my last set. I was taking him every time. However, I also was taking Samaj Pirine a lot, specifically on DraftKings, which
that's not dead.
I was gonna say it's not. It actually, I mean, he almost scored like a 35-yard touchdown. I use Derek Carty's the blitz projections for my decisions personally.
Yeah, I mean, I would like I had just Mason in like the 150s since like August 1st, basically putting him in that group with like Ray Davis, Braylon Allen. I was just like, this is the 49ers handcuff. Also like kind of ran well in the CMC thing. I just have way more CD Lamb than CMC. I'm expecting CMC
well,
to return.
you didn't run good. You made that decision. You made that decision on purpose, which I mean, obviously, like I'm regretting not having CD as my well, really, I'm just regretting not having Justin Jefferson as my 101 because I could have like 40% Justin Jefferson. All right. Do you like Brees or St. Brown more this week for BR?
Why is Jordan Mason ranked so high in this in particular?
It's my rankings and it's for swaps in case I accidentally take a CMC, like if I auto draft, or it's just so I don't forget.
Okay. Yeah, I'm cool with Brees. I personally like the wide receivers. I've been doing more of the dog bowls.
Okay.
Like I think it's defensible to take
Brown.
Rashee Rice here. Like
I agree.
Like you want to get, so if you could you show the board, Davis? I just feel like that displays better. So guys, in these 6-man drafts in particular, you're going to want to find a way to get unique, like either on the top end by taking Rashee Rice there when he's more commonly a second round pick, or on the back end in a vacuum. Let's just say every single week you had to do one or the other, Davis. Would you prefer to get unique at the top of drafts by taking, for example, Rashee Rice at the 103 there? Or would you like to scroll down, if you would, in the 6th round and take
the latter? Because the projections are going to be better and have higher confidence intervals at the top. Like Justin Jefferson, St. Brown, Lamb, and Kupp, they're projected for a lot more points than Garrett Wilson as the wide receiver 9. But if you scroll down more, Chris Olave and Zay Flowers probably, in fact, not only do they have the same projection, Olave is probably projected for more points than Zay Flowers. If you just look at whatever projections you'd like. So I greatly prefer the latter strategy of scrolling down. Yes, A-Chain left the game and came back in week 1.
Like rumor is high ankle sprain there, which is not great. I mean, I think Kyron is pretty appealing, but Rice is like, I think we do Rice because there's either or.
No, we've already got a quarterback set up. I think Kyron. My reading of the tea leaves is that by the time, I mean, this is like 33% full right now. My reading of the tea leaves is that Kyron is going to actually end up going ahead of Brees by Friday.
I don't think so. I don't think with Brees usage you'll get that. I've seen that in a dog bowl draft or two for uniqueness purposes, but I think wide receiver dies off more. Let's do Garrett with us having faded Brees. Because I think both this is a week where an overwhelming amount of people are going to want to play 2 RB versus
3 wide receiver.
3 wide receiver. Like wide receiver after the Zay Flowers tier is a significant drop off where it goes to like Jameson Williams, who's like appealing, and then you're staring at Jaden Reed and co. And you're like, do I play Jaden Reed? Do I, what do I do here? Tight end also dies off after Evan Ingram won't impact you as much in 6-person drafts. And running back, like there's a lot of running backs to feel good about. There's Derrick Henry, Josh Jacobs, Jordan Mason.
I mean, Kamara doesn't get drafted 100% of the time. Stevenson and Walker don't get drafted 100% of the time.
Yeah, I don't feel as good about those guys because of the injury, but like as far as guys to feel like enthusiastic about, Pacheco, Kyron, JT, Brees, Derrick Henry, Josh Jacobs, even like I'm kind of expecting the Packers to be the Josh Jacobs offense until we get Jordan Love back. Dude, I scrolled through Malik Willis's game logs to see if there's anything to feel good about.
No, he's like the worst quarterback in the NFL.
There's not. Yeah, but I was like, is there any Justin Fields? This
could be a good Daniels team. We could just do Daniels naked. I kind of like that.
Yeah,
when
I think we take let's take one of the running backs here, Gibbs or Derrick Henry, your choice, or Mason.
Yeah, I'm gonna do Mason because I kind of want to get a 49er on everyone. Feels like the 49ers probably just score like 35 points this week against the Vikings.
Yeah, so I'm like writing up my write-up for this week DFS wise, and like the Vikings defense is a defense that blitzes at like one of the league leading rates. So that makes Mason, like they shut down a lot of running backs and makes me really interested in the passing game pieces. Definitely Kittle or Daniels.
No, you don't.
How many other people need a tight end?
You don't want to do 2 49. You don't want to do 2 teammates. Double stacks like win.
Yeah, that worked terrible for the Godwin and Mike Evans group and Rachaad White trio.
It didn't win. Didn't even come close to winning Godwin and Evans last week.
I think White and Evans was a fine combo.
No, it like literally like didn't even that team in this contest didn't even finish top 50. You have to score so many points.
What was the nuts here last week? Richardson or Baker plus
it was Baker and Evans with Mixon and A-Chain, Pitts at tight end.
It wasn't A-Chain.
It was Mixon and A-Chain got the Mixon, A-Chain, and shit. I'll have to pull it up.
Kamara scored the same as A-Chan.
I can pull it up.
Mixon for sure. I did more of the dog bowls than the 6-person drafts, but
the dog bowl is a very different exercise because you don't your need to hit the absolute stone high scoring nuts is not as high.
I just think it's getting way too cute to not take Kittle.
Tyreek scored 6 more points than Godwin in half PPR.
Okay, but go back. I think you're being like you're just playing poorly if we take Zach Ertz over George Kittle, regardless of the teammate example.
You're not understanding the exercise. I mean, it doesn't have to be Ertz, but it should be Ingram.
You're trying to stack Jaden Daniels, and I wouldn't want to do that. I think Jordan Mason and Kittle can both we don't need Kittle to be the nutted tight end.
You do need him to be the nutted tight end. You need him to be the highest scoring tight end.
No, you don't. You can nut out at every other position, and Kittle gives you 10, and you win.
It's just not the game. It's 67,000 entrants. We'll take them. I don't care. But that's not the game.
I hear what you're saying there, but I think you're just not correct at the tight end position. Where let's say Trey McBride is the only tight end that scores well this week, which most weeks there's only going to be 1 or 2 tight ends. That inherently means you just need your tight end to have an okay game. And Kittle's going to do that where you're really hoping Daniel scores 30, Kyron scores 30, Mason scores 30, your wide receivers score 30, and then your tight end.
If Mason scores 30, Kittle will not be the tight end. The 49ers don't run enough plays. If Mason scores 30, Kittle will not be the winning tight end. There's not enough
Kittle
plays
could have
in the
been
game.
like the Debo production from that game. I just don't
Debo
agree that the running back can't score 30 and your tight end can't score 12 and you win. If a tight end goes for 20, sure. But
in the context of it's not 1-to-1. I mean, I definitely like the thing is I hate taking Andrews without Lamar because if Andrews gets 21, Lamar's like so likely to be the winning quarterback.
You can have some fluky games where he doesn't run as much.
Sure. I mean, I guess if Andrews scores 2 first half touchdowns and then it just is all Henry in the second half.
The way that draft played out, it makes me not want to take Mason at all, because if we're going to be able to choose between Kittle and Andrews as our tight end in the last round,
that's the math in the end. There's 6 tight ends. The 6 tight ends project for here. I can pull up.
So that's what I'm just saying, that like, if you're volume drafting these, sure, take a shot on McBride here and there, but all else equal.
McBride is my top tight end.
Sure, yes, agreed. But I would much rather just be choosing between likely Kittle, Andrews, Bowers in the last round and choosing the skill players I want the most in the other rounds versus staking a claim on McBride separating from the field this week.
Sure. Yeah. I just, I really couldn't agree less with this. I think I've done 80 of these and not taken McCaffrey once. McCaffrey is
you
not
done
playing.
80 already? Woo!
Well, I did a bunch on Monday because people were taking CMC every time.
Let's take CD Lamb 101. Come on. CD Lamb 101.
You don't get enough 101s. And the only way to get Kupp is to take him 101.
My hot take is CD Lamb should still go ahead of Cooper Kupp.
That is a pretty hot take. All right, so this is how the math breaks down at tight end. Ferguson obviously is a 0. McBride, Kelsey, Laporta, all 10 or more. Andrews for 8.62, Kittle for 8.27. Huge break to Ingram likely and Bowers. So there really is 5 tight ends that you want to have effectively, and if you get one of those 5, look at the gap to other ones that people are taking. Parkinson.
Well, Colby Parkinson we're like excited about in the dog bowl drafts where 12 tight ends get drafted minimum. That's when you're choosing between like Mike Gesicki, Pat Freiermuth. Like that's a real thing there. Yeah. So I mean, okay, the Rams game. I get like we need. So I don't think 21 targets is going to okay. Kupp's probably going to get 10 to 12, but 21 seems absurd. I think Colby Parkinson's going to be involved. I think Kyron's a great way to play that game, just as the passing game pieces don't get there. The Rams are underdogs. That kind of surprised me.
Cardinals are a good team, man. Cardinals are a good team.
They did not run a functional offense for the first quarter in the sense, and I think it was the wind. It is my guess, or Buffalo's front 7, because I'm telling you, like what in the scripted play element, it was a lot of dump offs to James Conner. It was no throwing down the field. So I don't know. Like I'm not as excited as in the Cardinals as Vegas, but maybe the Rams defense is just that bad.
I mean, running a non-functional offense, they had a chance to win on the road against the team that is like 3rd in Super Bowl.
Yeah, and the offensive coordinator blew it because let's go Rice. Yeah, sure. Let's do it. The Cardinals offensive coordinator blew it because like biggest moment of the game, like 3rd and 3 near on the Buffalo like 20. And they don't put the ball in Kyler Murray's hands where he's been like decimating the Bills all day as a rusher. They have James Conner run the ball, get stuffed. The Bills do the opposite. They put the ball in Josh Allen's hands. I still don't know. The Bills went down early in that game. They also did not possess the ball in the first quarter at all. Like they had the ball and they fumbled it. So the game was pretty wacky because of that. But I still don't know if we're going to get this hero Mega Allen week every week where he's rushing to touchdowns. But when the Bills' backs were against the wall, that's when you get it, and their backs were against the wall very early in that game. And maybe just we'll get that all
happen
season.
a ton.
I don't think what you think the Bills are just going to fumble the ball and be down 14 often.
The defense doesn't seem very good. They had like a bunch of injuries. Yeah, it just feels like we're going to get
that's like super overblown. The Bills' defense being bad.
I think we're going to get like 15 Josh Allen rushing touchdowns again.
If they're trailing, okay, their safety play is not the best, but they have a second-round pick there that's probably going to play sooner than later over Damar Hamlin. And their front seven is good, and their corners are really good. Like, they have really good corners. So I really don't understand the Bills' defense is terrible crowd, but
I didn't think the Bills' defense was good coming into the season. It just projects as like a league average unit or whatever.
I mean, they're not the Jets, but like the talking point of a lot of people is that
we can take Kittle. We can take Kittle on this one.
You would never double stack Mahomes with Kelsey.
I just don't. It's just like you got to score so many points.
Pass on Kittle for me, and let's go two running backs here. Gibbs and choose your favorite. I'd be willing to do Pacheco at a small percentage, but that's me. I would do Josh Jacobs if you don't want to do another player.
No, I really hate Jacobs. Feels like 22 carries for 66 yards.
Then let's do Gibbs and Pacheco or Gibbs and Kelsey.
How is Pacheco getting there
He just catches the touchdown this time instead of dropping it.
I think this is
my point there.
I took Kittle anyways. I accidentally.
I know that. My point there is I think that's not there's no reason to take Kittle there because we're gonna get a tight end we like in the 6th.
Well, you're not guaranteed. You might have to take Likely or Bowers, which is and like some of your picks you need to be scrolling anyways. Like this is like we have 100% drafted players here. We need to be scrolling down for our final. Like the Rice Mahomes pairing is super combinatorially non-unique. We will need to get a running back or a wide receiver who's drafted rather low.
So what percentage of the time do you think it's required you get unique falling ADP just through like luck volume, whatever? You get a CeeDee Lamb Amon-Ra combo versus making your own luck through
5% of the time you get a combinatorially unique team at ADP.
To win?
No, just in general. Yeah,
no,
honestly, we should have just taken Mason. To win, clarify, say more about that.
What percent of the time do you think for, okay, how many entrances in this? There's a lot. Let me pull it up.
67,000.
Yeah, okay. So what percent of the time do you think the winning team is a team that gets lucky through unique ADP at the top of drafts? Versus making their own luck.
30 something percent of the time where it's like, and if it's like a crazy thing, like let's just say there was a team on Monday that got Cooper Kupp and Justin Jefferson or something like that. That is very strong and hard to beat just by scrolling down. Very low, super low. Dimes will be drafted in less than 5% of these drafts. So if there's
and he's totally defensible,
completely 100%.
I think Justin Fields will probably be pretty low drafted. He went in this one.
Yeah, I like
B-Rob against the Giants.
So if you do the napkin math, 35.6 is something like he gets drafted 10% of the time, maybe.
I also
maybe
like Jerome Ford. He would and I think ETN's a pretty good play. Yes, Tank Bigsby.
ETN is a good play. There we go. That's I have a higher faith and belief.
My advice for you guys is these week 2 drafts. There's going to be a lot of people who like ETN. There's going to be no, can't do it. Where if you just stay a little bit tethered to best ball ADP and you still draft Rachaad White, you still draft
Yeah.
ETN, like players who, like White didn't even disappoint. Bucky Irving just played a little well.
Well,
ETN,
2.1 yards per carry is not great.
yeah, okay, but he in the pass catching department, he
That
had
is also you're
6
making
catches.
you're making a very good point though, because that's the highest total game of the slate, and 2 running backs from the other team are being drafted before Rashad White goes. So yeah.
Yeah, and more the overarching point there is people have completely reset based on best ball ADP, which somewhat you should do, right? Like Cooper Cup probably goes in the first round
Oh, he
if
definitely
we
goes in
knew
the first round.
this usage would hold and Puka Nacua was out of there. But I personally think it's a little like I would draft CD Lamb over Cooper Cup still. Like we're getting the Cowboys in the dome against the Saints. They have the 3rd highest implied total. They played the best defense in football outdoors last week. And now we're just we're basically like, why is Cooper Cup the 101? Because we're box score watching. We saw Cooper Cup got this many targets. We know Puka's out of there.
I think he's the 101 because he has the greatest fantasy season in the history of the wide receiver position, and he seems fully healthy.
Okay, and those things really were still there the last month. Like that's not like new info.
But Puka
I think it's
wasn't.
because he
Puka's
got
now
21
not on the.
targets.
But Puka's
You're
not
wrong.
on the team now.
It's 100% because he got 21 targets. That is why he's the 101. It's
I mean,
not. Come on.
he'd be the 101 to me in this matchup if he got 11 targets last week. But I was high on Cup, like to your point about best ball brain. Like I was higher than the market on Cup the whole time and lower on Puka.
Let's do either like Lamar Flowers here or Lamar Rice or Mahomes Rice.
We can get Flowers later.
Yeah, I know you can, but part of the reason to reach is for uniqueness.
So like the data says that basically you are hurting both your chances of a top 1% finish and of a cash finish if you do it early. It's once you get to the deltas in projection.
You
that
have
you start
data
doing
on
it.
6-person drafts because the 6-person draft is wildly different than like best ball data on 12-person drafts.
Yeah, there's been a bunch of people have been doing good work on this stuff. Easy's done some stuff. This guy Gumby06 has been running
I don't know,
sims
man.
on
Like
these.
all that data is descriptive, right? Like if you just look at the players you can take in the 6th round, like you can punt off tight end and get George Kittle, one of the best tight ends in football. So
Sure.
I'm not too hung up on that. No, I don't. None of these things I want to do at like, do I always want to be going Lamar Flowers there?
Yeah, Nerdy Tenor has been building out a bunch of sims. We did like 2 hours of sims last week.
All right, Sim Bros.
Well, it's because these contests are still more about the theory. Like this is more akin to playing Showdown than it is to playing salary cap DFS. Like if that makes sense.
I hear you there. Where if you take Flowers there, you're foregoing the opportunity to get unique ADP through falling, which is always the most valuable. But just having unique combos is going to be valuable in such a big field. And
yes, but it's not a unique combo. Flowers and Lamar will in no way be a unique combo, and you will also be.
That's not what I'm stating. Lamar Flowers plus 3-4 turn players is unique versus going like look at the board. If we don't see the board, it's kind of hard to just click the. You don't have to pop it out yet. Just click this. Like, okay, how many Lamar, Kyron, and then Flowers, the next pick teams are there going to be? Like a huge percentage of the time will we see that combo. So I don't know. It's kind of like the idea of just taking a 2-3 turn player at the 1-2 turn or what have you for uniqueness. Not a great example for how this year played out because the second round was so, ambiguous as far as where players went. But you know, like CeeDee Lamb, a 1-2 turn guy last year, was paired with like Chris Olave at 0.5% versus Amon-Ra St. Brown 20% of the time. So in a 1 week game, I don't think that, you know,
the thing is that the granularity of it allows you to actually have greater confidence in the range of outcomes because there's less you're having to project.
Take a pause here because we could have taken Flowers and then get Garrett Wilson and Jahmyr Gibbs, two guys capable of going for 30 points.
Well, we still can, and we could still probably get Flowers with the next pick.
Sure. I'm just saying about like in these 6-person drafts where you're still getting studs throughout every single pick, you're really not giving up much there.
Who do you want to take?
Yeah, I want to take Garrett Wilson and Jahmyr Gibbs. So do you think this will bleed over into DFS with people wanting to play 3 running backs in the flex? Because the running backs are pretty cheap compared to their wide receiver compatriots too.
Well, it's just this scoring system so greatly favors running back scoring, whereas DraftKings greatly favors wide receivers. 100-yard receiving bonus happens at like a much greater frequency than rushing bonuses, and you get a full point per reception as opposed to half. It's pretty biased. This scoring is pretty biased towards.
I think we're going to see more 3 running backs in the flex because we saw a very low passing touchdown percentage last week. We saw a very high rush percentage. There's a lot of appealing running backs in DFS land. And so I don't know, compared to like last week, I feel like we'll see more 3 RB build teams.
I mean, honestly, I feel like the fields are so complex. Like the field is just playing so much better now that they'll just do whatever the Sims say. Like whatever the computer tells people to play is what they're gonna do.
Yeah, and I feel like the Sims would say 3 running backs or whatever. It's good. It's probably good. It's what I would like to do too.
Yeah.
Let's talk about J.K. Dobbins, man. Where do you like? Obviously, this is going one of 2 ways. Either he's getting healthier and healthier, or he, James Robinson is basically the worry of the past for him. Where do you see it going? He gets the Panthers this week, so
yeah. I mean, I was late to the J.K. Dobbins thing. I didn't really start drafting him till like mid-August, but
I have almost none.
I've got him in 2 or 3 big dogs, and I think I got up to 8% in the end or whatever. But it's like he's probably going to get injured, like he just like the overwhelming evidence suggests that he's going to be great while he plays, and then he probably is going to get injured, and then there you go. We can get Zay Flowers in the end. Who do you want at tight end?
Yeah, I really haven't done these 6-person drafts where I think Andrews is like, so you're just never double stack ever.
I would do Mahomes. I would do Mahomes maybe, but like how many
should we take Parkinson then? Who, like, the Raiders have the lowest over under.
We have Kyron.
Oh, well, I mean, even with that, like, I don't know who's more likely to fall into the end zone, a team with a 16 over under or a team with a 25.
The Bowers play is actually just saying he catches the ball 8 times and gets 12 PPR points or 12 half PPR points, and no other tight end has a good week. I think this is true in general. I don't know if it's true this week because every good tight end, other than Dalton Kincaid, is on the slate. So I think it's a little different this week.
Yeah, that was basically the point I was making about Kittle with Mason, is with the threshold being so low, I even like RB tight end, not exactly the correlation I'm hunting for, but can Mason score 20 and Kittle score 10 and no one separates? Yes. So,
by the way, this is what I was wanting to pull up with Cooper Kupp. More points ever than Jerry Rice, Antonio Brown.
Jerry Rice with a cool 420. Shout out Jerry Rice.
Shout out to Jerry Rice. Yeah.
Let's do one dog bowl draft, a show too, Davis. And
all right. I really have no interest in this, but I will do. We'll
We're
do
doing one.
one.
It's the halfway mark pretty much, and it gives us more time to talk and different strategy. So I feel like it's a good breakup of the show.
Yeah, because
we need 8 more
the
guys.
the rake on this contest is fairly low, but part of what you are paying for is the trip and the experience, and that does nothing to me, to be honest. Like I'd rather win money
Well,
than win an
you
experience.
can win money. I mean, I think you get like $1,000 travel expense if you go. You forego that if you don't go to it, by the way. So you can bring a friend. Like Davis, you could you could just do that as a giveaway for your channel. Like, hey, who wants to go to the dog bowl with me? Like I understand what you're saying where you'd rather just have the 30K. And yeah, there is a lot of ball humbug. Like, I don't want to leave the house here. I
am who I am, man. I'm not embarrassed. I'm not embarrassed to be who I am.
I guess we have to bring each other if we win the dog bowl on stream. It's just kind of like, I'm gonna get Davis out of the house.
For what it's worth, Gumby said Anthony Richardson, no matter what, third, sixth, doesn't matter. That is also what Nerdy Sim said. Nerdy Sim said, Nerdy Sims wanted me taking Anthony Richardson in the first round of these drafts last week.
Even though you can get him in like
even though you can get him. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that just seems. So I guess what the sim is trying to say there is like, this will be the guy you need. So go and get him. But then there's the human element there of, okay, but I can get him in the 6th round or I can get him in the 5th round. So why would I do that?
Yeah. Like, I mean, they're like I guess I have not played with Gumby's Sims too much yet, but oh, there we go. We get a 1-on-1.
Hey, dude, come on, let's do CeeDee Lamb. Your one dog bowl draft, you're not going to take the Cowboys.
My one dog bowl draft that I don't even want to do. No, I'm taking Cooper Kupp.
You're not going to take CeeDee Lamb, your favorite team. You're doing only one. You don't even want to go. So why wouldn't you take the worst player if you don't want to go?
Because I
live a fucking little and click CeeDee Lamb.
I wonder. Let's see if Cardi's projections are up yet. I wonder how much more he's.
Oh my god, we're choosing projections over here for who to take at the 101 in a singular draft. I really wonder what his median projection is on Cooper Kupp versus CeeDee Lamb.
I mean, Cooper Kupp has had games that would make CeeDee Lamb blush. Yes, so this is true. It's not exactly saying that's what the Sims are aiming for. It's more about what would be efficient rather than what you.
My vote's Lamb. Do. Chat, what do you think Davis should do? Try to convince him.
Yeah, try to convince me. It's not going to work. There you go. Darkside Dev thinks that the Saints.
Oh my god, they play the
no
Panthers
joke after playing the
and
Panthers.
now all of a sudden the Saints defense is the.
All right, there we go. There we go. Brady got me. That's how you get me. You say that doing the other thing. Yeah. There you go. That's how you get me.
Show the people the draft board too. Come on, bro. No one wants to see just names ticking off the screen.
Well, it's don't
pop it out. Just click it so you can go back and forth.
Popping it out.
All right.
Popping it out. CMC 101 is terrible bad. I mean, CMC is just not only
CMC went in the 5th round in the one dog bowl I drafted I did this morning.
I mean, not only is CMC not playing this week, I wonder if he actually just goes on the short-term IR and comes back in week 5 or 6.
I don't feel like teams do that with superstars, even if he's going to miss 4 weeks, just to give them the out to return. Like, maybe Jordan Love would go on the IR if he's not Jordan Love.
All right, there we go, Chris. There you go.
Wow. The projection's in the brain, brother.
Well, it's in a dome. I should have realized it was.
I told you that already. I said Dak in the dome. They played the best defense in the NFL, the Browns defense. Many people view them that. 3rd highest over under.
Jefferson, baby. Jefferson 22.6. Shout out to you, Cardi. Cardi knows ball.
He must be in a dome, right?
Yeah, yes, Minnesota plays in a dome.
He's at home. Yeah, man, I don't know. Like, Cooper Kupp's obviously a great play. And for those who play DraftKings DFS, like, CeeDee Lamb will probably be pretty under-owned compared to what he should be,
Oh,
just because he's so
well,
effing expensive.
it depends. Again, because we've got Yoshi Boss and we've got Mason this week. So
Well, and like my read on the Rams wide receivers is I think Tyler Johnson looked a lot better than Demarcus Robinson, but I think Demarcus will maybe be more popular.
if
I don't know.
people
Tyler,
play Demarcus Robinson in the year of our Lord 2024,
bro,
crazy.
you saying that when he's gonna be like second on the team in routes run, and like he's going to luck into some games. That's the whole
Oh,
Demarcus
he's definitely
Robinson
he's definitely going to
thesis.
luck into some games. He's definitely going to luck into some games. He did happen to get 4 receptions in a game that Matt Stafford threw 51 passes though.
Someone asking if we still like Yoshi Boss. I mean, he ran 100% of routes, played 100% of snaps. So yes, you typically like players who run all the routes and snaps. He's probably better in best ball. Yoshi Boss, like I wrote this in my waiver article where I don't know if he'll ever be startable in manage, but I mean, like T. Higgins literally could have sat out because of contract. We don't know. Jamar Chase also seems upset with the team. So
He's not T. Higgins 20 seconds ago, not in uniform at Bengals practice Wednesday.
yeah, so like I don't know. We could be seeing a lot of Yoshi Boss this season.
I mean, he's gonna run 100% of routes again this week.
Yeah, do you think I'm not really giving the Bengals a chance. Do you think they're going to bounce back or no?
No. I think, in fact, I'm actually worried on the opposite. I'm worried they're so pathetic that the Chiefs are in Carson Steele getting the crowd hyped up in the third quarter mode. Where
I
it's
don't
just
know.
like,
I think they would want to lay it on the Bengals no matter what. Like,
I hope so. But it's like, the thing that you've got to understand is they're trying to win the Super Bowl, man. They like Mahomes already has 2 MVPs. Like they don't need to do that stuff in the regular season anymore.
okay, but like this has been the case for a while, and they continue to pass the ball to high clip and blowouts. So
Burrow's wrist, yeah. That was my last take before the season, was that the whole fantasy community decided to just say Burrow's wrist is fine. I don't know, man. I don't know.
I drafted a lot of Jamar Chase, so I'm hoping that Burrow can bring it back. I mean, had a touchdown or two wiped off the board. Still, like the defense.
And I really thought Gesicki's touchdown should have counted. By the way, I mean it's kind of neither here nor there. I don't really know why it didn't count now.
He was such a good game theory play off of Yoshi Voss. Like I thought.
Oh my God, is this true? Holy shit, this could be the biggest breaking news. I got to check my app right now. Do you know about this, Liam?
No, I don't eat meat, so.
What the fuck you mean you don't eat meat?
I'm a pescatarian. I eat fish, so I don't know.
Oh my God, Anthony. This is the greatest
doesn't
day.
get me up like you, Davis, but so okay, this is what we're seeing. Kyron, the RB3, 6,800 this week. Derrick Henry. I don't know, man. It's just going to be tough for me to play Derrick Henry at all.
Liam would be a pescatarian.
Such a me thing.
Yeah, I think I've taken Derrick Henry 3 times in 80 BRs or whatever. I just like
he needs 2 touchdowns.
No, I think he needs 3. I think he literally needs 3.
So does JT though. Like JT's not going to get any pass game.
Well, JT seems more likely to me to get 3.
JT is explosive still and looks like he's going to play just 100% of snaps until.
Why did these drafts take 1,000,000 hours, by the way? I mean, this is crazy.
Because you have drafted like 700 of the $3 6-man, so your dopamine brain is like, why am I waiting so long?
I'm like, why the fuck am I waiting so long between picks? It's crazy. All right, what do we want to do with our next selection?
Show me the players. So I mean the real question for us is, are we punting off tight end or not?
Well, do we I guess we could take Andrews without Lamar.
I don't think we take a tight end here. Like let's punt it for.
So you want to punt it?
Yeah. Well, at least this round. Click a wide out in running back. I love Ayuk this week against the Vikings secondary.
You
I think
like
Ayuk
guys that you like guys that look that out of shape.
Well, so that's like we're gonna get that narrative too. I like Ayuk and Flowers,
Well, what if
Worthy
what
and Ayuk.
you made me take CD. What if we take Worthy and Mahomes?
What if we take Ayuk and Mahomes? I mean, Ayuk and
I'm
Worthy.
definitely vetoing Ayuk. No shot on Ayuk. I'd rather take Kittle.
Hey, it's your dog bowl, brother. Let's do Mahomes and Worthy. I personally like Mahomes is too cheap in DFS land at 7K, but this is why I've said this about Mahomes all off season. It's hard for expensive pass, statue
He
QBs.
has to throw 4 touchdowns minimum and probably 5.
And he should have against the Ravens. Like he had multiple drop touchdowns, but it's hard for him to pay off at his best ball ADP as far as people who did season long best ball because he goes within a pick of Allen, like ahead of him sometimes. Hurts, who's going to give you rushing touchdowns, Lamar, and it's like he is just expensive. CJ Stroud, Dak, whatever, Joe Burrow, I would have said, unless Joe Burrow's wrist is not back. So even like I think
Ayuk. See, this is why I hate people. He was not balling. He definitely was not balling. You could say he got unlucky. The idea that he was
he had 2
balling is
drops.
like Juwan Jennings was much better than him in that game.
You have a strong bias against Ayuk, and you love.
And my bias after 1 week, I could sell my Brandon Ayuk his ass.
No,
takes
you
for
were
$2.
biased for 5 years, and so like it would take a lot for you to say
No,
Ayuk had a good performance. I
Juwan
just think
Jennings was legitimately balling. Give him
John
his
Jennings
flowers.
looked decent for like a clip until he got blown up. I just think going into the year, I wanted to target the Vikings secondary. Nothing has changed. Now they get the 49ers, the team with the highest over-under. Jordan Mason's going to be like jammed in there at a generational.
Yeah, this is a good take, Liam. I agree with this.
Like I really want to be playing Ayuk, Debo, Kittle, passing game pieces against the Vikings. Let's get some ownership percentages in the DraftKings Millie Maker this week.
Hold on,
I'm pulling up
the
first.
Cooper Kupp will be 21%.
Okay, Jordan Mason. I think that's low, but Jordan Mason.
47%. He'll be the highest owned player. He'll be the highest owned player of the entire year.
I think that's why, just because there's so many appealing running back plays, within $1,000 or two.
1.1 yards per route.
Dude, are you really citing yards per route run in one sample of games?
Less first read targets than Juwan Jennings. Where's his ass? Where do I get the separation data?
Fantasy Points never paid me for some 1099 work I did, so come on, Fantasy Points.
Where did I get that separation data that they were talking about?
I don't know, but pull this data off the fucking screen because it's ridiculous in a singular game against the Jets defense in a game where it was reported like we didn't even know how much Ayuk we were going to get, and we were getting pretty much full Ayuk. Here, I got the snap counts. Here, let me pull it up. Ayuk was on the field for...
People do forget this. Kyle Shanahan did put Brandon Ayuk straight up in the doghouse, had him running around.
As a rookie.
No, it was his second year. I remember this.
His rookie year, too.
He had him running routes with River Crackcraft. It was so goddamn fun. Kyle Shanahan is
Ayuk ran an equal amount of routes to Debo Samuel, 27 each.
Yeah, no one is doubting that, dude.
He played 10 less snaps. Yeah, but we're going to get that ramped up. Like that will go towards equal. Debo's obviously like better leverage off of Mason because he
literally takes the points that would be going to Mason.
Yes, but I think people will also that's a very obvious connection. People will play that more. And I think people are not going to want to play Ayuk because he dropped a touchdown, all those things. So I'm pretty interested in Ayuk.
For salary cap DFS, I think you're probably right. I got absolutely no issue.
Do you think Xavier Worthy is a smash play at 6,100 or
Probably not. Honestly, probably. I
Yeah,
think
I don't either.
I think Worthy's path to getting there until Reed trusts him more is like honestly Debo level efficiency, where he's literally scoring twice on like 6 touches. Yeah, I mean, you definitely saw with his usage in that game. It's design stuff. It's get this guy away from everyone, get him isolated in single coverage, get him the ball in space. It's not actually very similar to how
But
Rashee
he's a
Rice's
good
career started.
real life wide receiver though. So it's not like he's
Yes.
just gonna be this scheme shit. Um is he playing? Because I'd rather go Montgomery if he's not.
No, Montgomery is fine.
Is Ken Walker playing, you think? Is that serious,
Yeah.
that oblique injury? Let's not go tight end. Let's go like Jerome Ford or ETN. I think they're both good plays.
This is probably terrible. What we did was
What?
probably just like literal ass, like literal just drafting by ADP.
No, ETN goes undrafted in most of these.
Okay, the
What are you
very
talking about?
first play of the game, Benny, the very first play of the game was intended to be a Xavier Worthy bomb, and I can't remember if it was Noah Gray or Kelsey, and basically the safety went with Worthy instead. Like I promise you, Andy's smarter than you. He gets it. This
Anyway,
have you considered that Debo changing his number to 1, like how
Curtis
alpha is.
Samuel wears the same number. Curtis Samuel was Debo before Debo. He's
Dude,
also number
was that surprising to you that Curtis Samuel just like is not a part of the offense? That was
That's
surprising to me.
injury to me. That's injury to me
I
for
don't think
sure.
so, man. I
No, he
think
was
that is.
only a full practice recently. Like that's gonna ramp.
I mean, obviously you are gonna be more in tune with that than me, but I thought Keon Coleman, I thought was gonna be the 5th wide receiver, not even the 4th.
No, yeah,
I thought
he's just like
he's the
he's
one. He's the
he
one.
is in the mix for the one. Like Khalil Shakir has a skill set of like yak and he bounces off people. I still think Kincaid will be the one there. He had like insane defensive attention from the Cardinals at times. Played the highest snaps in routes too. So, but Coleman is a like almost flex worthy guy. He had a grown man jump ball
I
play.
think I'm starting him in one league this.
We're
this
debating it in one of our leagues too. I don't know. Even though the Bills were trailing, that game really never felt in doubt for Buffalo. They played the Dolphins, obviously a huge game this week. So we'll see what the Bills off. And again, the Bills did not possess the ball in the first quarter. But yeah, the Curtis Samuel thing I think is way more injury based. I don't think Matt Collins is going away though. Like the team likes him. This was always a
No,
risk.
exactly. He's a great run blocker. He's huge.
Yeah. Like his vibes are also just like people really like his
Josh
energy,
loves him, dude.
which matters. Like he does all this like cool TikTok shit.
He's probably a pescatarian, dude.
You hate that I'm a pescatarian.
I do. I don't hate it. It's just not a life choice that I would ever follow.
It's just something you want to highlight in a co-stream.
I think
I'm
no,
pretty sure
man.
you knew this already too.
I'm sure I did. I'm making bets on Keon. At one week in, it's Keon. It's totally Keon for me.
Yeah,
That's
I
where
still
I'm
think Shakir will have his games and Samuel will when he's healthy. And Matt Collins is going to have some stat lines like he did, where he catches 2 balls and 1 touchdown. But I think James Cook league winning potential pretty high. Like he was, if the Bills like had the ball more, he's gonna smash the games. His 1 week ceiling is still huge.
How many? It's the Saquon issue again. It's the Hurts thing. It's like he can't. How many touchdowns can he score?
Significantly more than he did last year. I think he scored 6. I think he could score 12 to 15 this year. And the Bills are going to be a matchup defense. Ooh, a little correlation. Look at that. Look what you got with that little correlation here going CD Lamb instead of Cooper Kupp.
Incredible.
This
Could have
draft,
taken Trey
took like
McBride, but
20 minutes compared to
like literally, like not only does this team suck and is not going to win, but it also took us a fucking half hour to draft. I will
No,
not.
that's a good thing. I think it's kind of hard to get our pacing right rapidly going through 6-man drafts. So that's why I think it's a good breakup to do a dog bowl draft.
Sure. I mean that team sucked. That team is not winning the dog bowl.
What
But
particular?
it might, and that's pretty fun.
What is the winning dog bowl team to you? Let's hear the lineup.
Oh, winning dog bowl. Winning dog bowl will be Cooper Kupp, Trey McBride, Jordan Mason, Zay Flowers.
Who you didn't want to take?
Kenneth Walker and who's a good scroll? Marvin Harrison Jr. No, Olave.
Did you even say a quarterback?
Oh, Kyler round 3.
I'm gonna go with a running back room of Kyron and Pacheco. They get Flowers in the third as a wide receiver 1. Then they go Olave as their other wide receiver. Their tight end is Pat Freiermuth, and they got Justin Fields at quarterback against the Broncos.
Yeah, so I would love to join you on the Justin Fields stuff, but and I actually think he played well in that game. Like overall, Arthur Smith is just like has no interest, absolutely no interest in letting him off the leash. Like literally like no fucking interest in letting him be Justin Fields.
No, he needs to score a rushing touchdown to pay off, but 14 rushing attempts last week. The Broncos defense does not look any better at defending the run. So I don't know. I think it's a pretty tempting, yeah, it's hard to see mega upside for Fields if he's not throwing for touchdowns. But Jaden Daniels got there with 2 garbage time rushing touchdowns. Like that's kind of what we're hoping for.
Arthur Smith is a terrorist. It's just true. How long do you want to? I can do this for like forever. How long do you want to stream for?
I don't know. I feel like we should usually go like an hour to an hour and a half, hour 15 minutes.
Hour is dust. You know from looking at the metrics.
What is your? We're making this live, Davis. What is your vision?
I mean, every time I click the button, I go for like 2 hours, but I don't know what you've got going on today.
I got a lot to do today. In the future, I think I can maybe do that, but I got some things I need to do. Let's go like an hour and a half today.
Okay, deal. My dog will be happy. They can go back outside.
Let's scroll down. Let's talk about some scroll down candidates for the people watching.
All right, here's a couple I've been thinking of. So a great one is
not just the quarterback. Show us the
Herbert. So Herbert, and Ladd.
So Ladd's going to be like way higher owned than Palmer. So Palmer's like and I get it.
3% is not that much higher owned than 1%. Really, at the end.
I guess I'm talking more DFS wise. Like,
Ladd will be chalky in DFS.
You think it'd be chalky? Because like Wan'Dale Robinson's cheaper, Greg Dortch is cheaper. I don't know. Do you see Greg Dortch is priced at $5K pretty much, 4,800?
That's so funny. DraftKings is woke, dude.
I think Marvin Harrison is bad.
Marvin Harrison is a generational DFS play. How often do you get a literal first-round fantasy pick in week 2, uninjured, highest total of the week, sub 5% owned? I've never seen anything like it.
His salary's absurd. It's like $7K. He's like more expensive than Rashee Rice. But like we saw what Jameson Williams did to them. You're kind of just hoping Marvin can win down the field. And again, like the Cardinals offense, they refused to pass down the field in that wind. Like that, and that's a big reason why I think the Bills yeah, you want a dome, but Josh Allen can actually pass in the wind. If no one can, so small advantage there. Let's go Pacheco.
Pacheco.
Yeah, just so that we can get you one non-Mahomes stack.
I've got Pacheco teams, but
obviously let's talk about your spy team this week. So obviously you're going Mahomes.
I don't know. I don't
Are you
know
double
because
stacking?
that stuff might not. It really might not sim well. If Mahomes is 10% and Rashi is 30%, that might sim like dog shit.
Yeah, I mean, quarterback like Mahomes feels too cheap at 7K, but then Jaden Daniels is 6,200. Like plenty of options.
I mean, I'm not being facetious when I say I'm worried that the Bengals are too shit to keep. Like, the Bengals could score 10 points again this week.
Aren't you woke that the Bengals are a tight end funnel team? Isn't this a Kelsey spot? Garrett Wilson, dude. Do not take Worthy over Garrett Wilson. Come on. Take Garrett Wilson. We're just getting 2 first-round picks here.
I'm not worried about Jalen Warren. He didn't play very much in week 1 because of the hamstring thing. And Tomlin said again this week that he's not 100% healthy. So I also am benching him in a bunch of leagues where I have him this week. I think you got to wait one more week on Jalen Warren.
Yeah, I would just be patient in some of these spots, guys. Like even Chase Brown, like Moss is clearly the superior hold there in games where the Bengals will be leading. But I could see Chase Brown in a catch-up game spot getting, 7 checkdowns in this week as the Bengals try to catch up to the Chiefs. So
Moss could catch 11 passes this week. Like it could be because he's down there for all. He's in for all of the pass protection. Like he's all the.
He played all the 2-minute drill, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. He.
I
don't know. I had so much Moss. I was spooked by the end, but I have a lot of Chase Brown too. I think they both were good season-long bets. And nothing has changed for season-long best ball as far as if Moss rolls an ankle, Chase Brown is taking, 70% of the workload. So
yeah, man, imagine how bad the fucking Chase Brown bags would have been if they did sign P. Ryan though. I mean, he literally would not be playing. Like his ass would be on the bench. So
yeah, I'm gonna be interested to see. Like, I'm expecting P. Ryan to just play more naturally after only playing 8 snaps.
Yeah,
I don't know when we're gonna see that though. Like maybe week 3, week 4, he'll be more ingrained on the team. Let's go.
Sure. Could do Kelsey.
McBride. Let's go McBride.
Okay, yeah, I like that.
I'd be okay with Kelsey, but
no, because now we can set up Kyler. And then we just have to scroll down for our last running back.
If this game, if Rams Cardinals game was week 1, what do you think the spread would have been versus them playing in week 2?
I don't really think it's that influenced. I guess I'd have to go look at what the look ahead line was, but my perception is that not too much has changed, right? I mean, both of the defenses are bad. I guess we have confirmation that both of the defenses are bad. And that
I think it's excitement about Kyler.
I mean, it should be. Kyler played very well in that game, I thought.
People asking if you're worried about Zamir White. That is one where you should be worried. Yes.
I mean, you should have been worried. You should have been worried before you clicked him. You should have retroactively gone back in time and been worried before you drafted him.
Well,
it's like obviously I got about 100 things wrong this season, but it is funny when it's like, what are you gonna do? Stab me, and then you get stabbed. It's like well, same thing with Chase Brown. Like everyone's telling me, like, oh, Chase Brown's just a shitty third down back or a shitty scat back, and I'm like, how could this have happened? It's like, well, this was probably always going to happen, and you just got to make your peace with it.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't anticipate Madison playing this much, but they clearly have no interest in White as a pass catcher at all. And then you also have the further problem of what if Dylan Lobby becomes something later in the season? So like there is no outs to Zamir being pass catching weapon.
I like Montgomery as a scroll.
Yeah, no, I think just jamming the running back on the highest over implied total seems
And it's like it's also
weird.
it's
Like,
like
why
one
is
of
he
the
going after Ramondre? That doesn't make any sense.
it's one of the few times in my life where I've not been a slappy. Like Jameer is so clearly the slappy play, and it's like one of the few times in my life where I've been like, wait, actually, maybe I should just take the one who gets all the touchdowns.
But that's not true. Like, I mean,
Yeah, they
I
do.
think
They do give Gibbs high value touches.
no, like that was a major takeaway from week 1 is Gibbs got goal line carries. Like, I think it's just kind of like whose turn it is. And Gibbs, Gibbs got 6 targets. So, like, I think Gibbs is still a fantastic play. It is going to be a little random who gets the rushing touchdowns if those opportunities arise. Do you think people are going to be scared off by Amon-Ra this week,
Maybe I would say
DFS wise?
yes if it wasn't the game that it is. What's the total? 51.5 or something? Like
I think
if
I was writing it. It's like 54.5 or something.
Jesus,
51.5
yeah. I mean,
maybe.
if the game total, if it was a road game against the Bears and it was 48.5, then sure.
Dude, let's talk about that Bears game, man. I played a lot of Caleb last week. I'm excited about Caleb. They looked rough.
That's
I don't know.
you should be panicked because not only did they look rough, but the scheme looked rough. Like
Well,
that, it's
in
like
Rome, one of my highest drafted players. That's a bummer.
yeah, that. I mean, I'm right there. I'm right there with you, and it's just pretty much writing those off as 501 3C teams at this stage. Like it's not going to happen.
No, I think Rome will be healthy eventually, and we
Sure.
have hope that the Titans' interior pressure was just good. Let's do Chase and Rice.
Chase and Rice. Okay. Sure.
Even if the Bengals are dysfunctional, Jamar Chase is capable of.
I mean, Jamar Chase was loafing around out of shape last week and had like 8 receptions, I think, or something.
And more importantly, he's capable of being an explosive yard after catch player and just going to score a 80-yard touchdown.
100%. Yeah, I mean, this is the thing is that he I'm not writing it off. Well, I did just say I was writing it off.
I'm not writing him off, to be clear.
I'm extremely concerned that it turns out that that Shane Waldron is just not very good at his job.
I think Caleb probably did a little too much. I'm really excited to see that game in Sunday Night Football.
He also missed that left sideline throw to DJ Moore. I was like, fuck, man, that was a Bryce Young ass miss. Not that I'm saying that Caleb is a bust, but just like that was just a brutal miss.
And the big, you didn't even get any garbage time with Caleb where he would have gotten fantasy production because they scored 2 defensive
touchdowns. Yeah.
Yeah. So pretty much the worst run out possible. Let's jam 2 running backs here.
I mean, Jonathan Taylor, super jam.
Gibbs.
Yeah.
Or Gibbs. Mason. I prefer Gibbs though.
Well, if we take
Mason,
if
you just play Gibbs or Montgomery in every lineup, you're probably gonna be happy most weeks. And again, guys, falling back to, hey, Gibbs went at the 1-2 turn in best ball drafts. He's now going after, Derrick Henry. He's now going after Mike Evans. He's now going after Xavier Worthy. I think it's okay to be tethered to a little bit of that and just be like, I'm just getting a player that everyone valued as a 1-2 turn in the 4th round here.
How funny is it that A-Chain already speed ran the A-Chain experience? Looked like the guy should have went 101 in drafts and now is already questionable. That is just classic fantasy football.
Yeah, I wrote up Jalen Wright as the waiver pickup because of this, because I feel best about his ceiling. But Jeff Wilson will probably play ahead.
And for sure.
I'm shocked the Dolphins are favored, especially with the banged up running backs. But I don't know. The Bills have just dominated Miami as well. So I don't know
don't know anything about anything, but people are saying the Bills defense is slow and that is trouble. That's just what people on Twitter are saying.
Their corners are not that fast, but they kind of run zone. And so I don't know, pretty mitigated there. Achan's had good games against the Bills because yeah, I think like fast running backs can get there. So I'd be excited for Achan if he was playing. And Tyree can do it against anyone, but he hasn't always exploded.
What tight end do you want? What quarterback?
Well, is there any stacks we can make?
We could do Purdy and Kittle.
Let's do that.
That's probably pretty good. Purdy, Kittle.
That's pretty sick. I mean, you could play a rushing QB, like whatever, Fields.
We could have done
Daniel
Dimes,
Jones.
Theo Johnson.
Daniel Jones and Theo Johnson. Jesus, man. That is like I'm gonna do it somewhat in DFS, but I don't know. Just seems a little Galbrainy to just fire up Theo Johnson. I mean, the routes are there, everything is there for him, but it's like it's George Kittle. Come on.
Yeah. I did want to say one thing that at this point, where did McCaffrey go in this one? McCaffrey went, so he didn't get drafted in this one. Now at this stage, I think you can take him some in the 6th round and hope that he gets ruled out and just pretend that he is Kenneth Walker or whatever. Like he was totally off. Like I had not taken him once in this contest yet. But now that he like legitimately goes undrafted, you can be taking him and just playing him as a swap.
I'm gonna try to get in this battle royale with you.
Okay. Let's do one more, then get out of here.
Okay.
Let's see if we got in together. It'll be a good sweat.
I did not.
Tough.
If you're
Filled. Tough
okay.
scene.
I'm in the next one. I'm tired of not clicking buttons.
I know it is excruciating. And next week it's gonna be like, are the Bills? Let's see, are the Bills on the main slate next week? Week 3.
I'm happy they're on the Thursday. They're probably in the main slate.
Week 3, the Bills are not on the main slate. They're the Sunday night game against the. Wait, that's not right, is it?
There's not many Bills players to jam like there are Chiefs players, though, right? It's like Josh Kincaid, Keon Coleman, James Cook. Like, are we jamming?
Same for the Chiefs. Running back, 2 wide receivers, tight end, quarterback.
Well, I only mentioned 1 wide receiver.
I honestly drafted a bunch of Shakir last week. He was like wide receiver 20. He was only being drafted like 5% of the time or something.
Yeah, why'd you hated him in best ball, but then you came around there?
I was wrong, dude.
I mean, I don't know, man.
The supposition was that my take was that he won't play, but once Curtis Samuel got injured, I was like, oh well, he's clearly going to play.
Yeah, I still think Curtis Samuel will be a thing further down the road, but I don't know. Like, I think turf toe can stick with you.
Yeah, turf toe is a brutal injury.
So how does this work for us? Like, did you denote what number battle royale I'm on stream for?
Definitely not. Definitely not. We're gonna have to play back the tape. We're gonna have to play back the tape. Now, I will have to get organized on this next week.
What I'm gonna do on my end is I'm gonna write like
the number.
First stream draft with Davis, and then the last one, and then I'll know the whole chunk in there is with you. But yeah, I mean, hopefully you win 30K, and I'm rolling back this stream, and I'm like, there's the team. There's the team. Davis.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm pretty locked in on these. I'm like thinking about them a lot. I don't know how good. Also, I have realized this. I like draft. They go so quick. I draft a lot of them when I'm like taking my dogs out and things. And you can get a dead team so fast. Like you make one wrong click. Like you take Garrett Wilson or Breece Hall together, and it's like, oh well, that team is just like literally 100% dead.
No, dude, you're just playing for uniqueness when you do that. No, not Mike Evans. I'd rather play Debo straight up over Mike.
let's do Kyron.
I mean, Mike Evans scored 2 touchdowns on like 160-pound corner. Like, is that gonna hold each week? I don't know.
Well,
Probably
it's just that it's the highest, so it's the total again.
Well, it is on one side of the wall. It's not on the Buck side of the wall.
Buccaneers still have what, a 24-point team total or something?
They have. Let me pull up my article.
Pretty high.
No, I don't think so.
I'll pull it up on Pinnacle.
Let me see.
Buccaneers have a no, only 21. Only 21 and a half. Okay.
They
You're right.
They are tied with the Jags and Colts for the 10th highest total of the slate.
Jags and Colts. All right.
I have them down for 22.25.
This seems pretty true. Like Caleb had jitters. All right. Worthy neighbors. Let's take Sam Laporta.
Hell yeah. Yeah, my take on the freak out on the elite tight ends is like, breathe, guys. You have multiple outs to elite tight ends. Either A, they smash in the regular season. This is typically rare, but like that's kind of like what Laporta did last year. They're strong advance rate guys. Or they don't. They're low advance rate guys. They blow up in a playoff week and they win.
That's the best cope. That's the best cope.
We love that. Yeah. I mean, but it's true, right? Like it is true. Like and when an elite tight end does smash week 15 or 16, they become mega owned. Look at this humility, Davis, getting Ayuk.
There's an Ayuk. Well, this team didn't really go my way, so
you thought the team was shit, so you're like, we can.
So I'm like, I'll do a humility based Brandon Ayuk pick.
How do you see the Ravens game played out in a game where they don't trail?
Yeah, I think Lamar is going to literally run like 3 times. I'm worried for Lamar in these specifically that like the running really does not happen when they're favored like this.
So the only I would agree in a vacuum. The only thing I would say is I think the running of Lamar, yes, trailing is part of it, but the other part of it is that the Chiefs got so much pressure on the O-line that it forced him to run.
Forced him out of the pocket, yeah.
If the O-line is still bad, then, and you got guys like Max Crosby that can generate pressure, like maybe you get more Lamar running because of that. And I do think Justice Hill was mostly a byproduct of the trailing game script, but I think he's going to be involved, man. Like he kind of
100%. Like I mean, he came in he was in on the first drive. Henry was in on first down. Hill was in on second and third down. Yeah. He's not going anywhere.
So I think he's a byproduct also of how bad the Ravens O-line is, where they want to get the ball out of Lamar's hands quickly to a fast guy. I don't know why they've never done this in the past. Like Justice Hill's, he scored two relevant fantasy games all last year, competing with J.K. Dobbins. So
yeah,
I don't know why they came to Jesus on that, but they did. Have you drafted any double tight end teams?
I've done one. I did one with Kelsey and Andrews.
I just did one with McBride and Likely, where I took Lamar and someone took Flowers.
All right,
gonna be done at a super low clip. Unlikely to win, but whatever.
Sure. All right, man. There we go. Absolutely beautiful stuff. The week 2 fantasy football stream. Direct the people to where you like them.
Well, first off, let's end this show each week with a pick'em slip, Davis.
Oh, good call.
Let's do a community $10 pick'em slip, a pick 5, I think. Let's do a pick 6 since like you choose 3 and I choose 3 and we'll just alternate. When Davis does it, it will be pick'ems. When I do it, it will be champions.
No, mine are champions too. Mine are champions too in Missouri.
Oh, you're okay. They're both champions. If you have pick'ems, they're the same line. So Davis, fire us up. What is your first pick? I'm going to put this in on my end too.
Justin Jefferson 0.5 rushing plus receiving touchdowns.
Oh, hell yeah. We're starting this off with a sizzler.
Yeah, if we're doing a 5 or 6 legger with for $10, I'm making it a sizzler. We are cooking a sizzler.
Yeah. We're trying, we love Underdog, but we're trying to take them for everything they got. All right, so we got Justin Jefferson scores a touchdown against the Vikings. Against the 49ers, not my favorite, but it's in there. Let's go for let's do another sizzler. Ayuk touchdown. We're getting some correlation touchdown. There.
Beautiful. I'm gonna go. Where's Tajay Spears? I was hoping to take Tajay Spears under rushing yards.
Now that is a good line there. You won't always get the fringe guys so early.
Correct.
Just search a player.
Here we go. Lower on Trevor Lawrence passing yards, 240.5.
I like that. They ran the ball inexplicitly, like in the by the goal line there where Trevor was looking really good. Let's go for CeeDee Lamb higher than 83.5 receiving yards.
Crazy that they're giving him rushing yards. Yeah,
you can do the combo one there.
Yeah, that just seems wild. Oh, this one feels absolutely free. Oh, you don't have we don't have receiving yards for Marvin Harrison Jr. yet.
Oh, you're gonna do the under?
Go. Higher 7.5 receptions for no, I was gonna do higher on Marvin Harrison.
Oh, higher on 7.5 receptions for Cup?
Yes. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Give me a 6.
Okay. I'm not seeing any lines for Rashee Rice. I was gonna call him.
Yeah, none. That's weird.
Let's see what line they're laying on. Nothing for Jordan Mason either.
Brian Robinson rushing touchdown, spicy pep.
No, brother. This has got to be mine. They're not hanging any of the Chiefs lines right now. That's kind of weird.
Someone questionable?
Yeah, that's usually what would do it. Let's find. Oh, are they hanging any of the Miami running backs?
They weren't earlier.
There's a Jeff Wilson first half touchdown.
Yours should be Kincaid, dude.
That's what I was about to say. We're doing Kincaid, and
it's Hollywood. Obviously, it's Hollywood.
Oh yeah, but he's not playing. I thought
he's not going to play. But
let's go with questionable. Oh, should we do some sick shit here, Davis? Should we do Kincaid first touchdown scorer?
Which I don't have those. I don't have them.
It doesn't give you those? Okay, all right.
Yeah.
What do you got? You got receiving yards? Let's do Kincaid more than 44.5 receiving yards.
Except, all right, beautiful. I'm going to add an A-chain touchdown to mine.
You think he's playing, dude? He's got a high ankle sprain, I think.
He's fine at practice.
Okay.
Justin Jefferson, higher touchdown. Brandon Ayuk, higher touchdown. Trevor Lawrence, lower passing yards, 240.5. CeeDee Lamb, higher 83.5 receiving yards. Cooper Kupp, higher 7.5 receptions. Dalton Kincaid, higher 44.5 receiving yards. Devon A-Chain, higher 0.5 rushing and receiving touchdowns. Yeah, how about that? That one feels free. Moody over kicker points.
Wait, hold on. Don't go away because I'm about to
reuse these and do it again.
My location didn't go for my computer, so I have to do it.
I just added it. I just added it and did it again.
Okay. These are fun, man. The little spicies.
Yeah, here I can share and I can copy and put the link in the chat. There's a link to that in the chat with Josh Hornsby's over 7.5 kicking points. All right.
Who am I missing here?
A-Chain, Kincaid, Kupp, Lamb, Lawrence, Ayuk, Jefferson. You got to get that CLV before they take it away, obviously.
Yeah, they updated the lamb line on us.
Yeah, I clicked accept because who cares?
I agree. All right. $10. Boom. Boom. Played. Generational wealth, everyone out there that tailed us.
Generational wealth. Liam, let's get out of here. I'm gonna go let the puppies out. You're gonna go live your life this afternoon.
Yeah.
What do people have at Beat Best Ball right now?
Well, for I'm writing my DFS article for the week. I'll have my video out on that tomorrow. And then Davis, you say your thing, and then I'm gonna ask you one more question before we get out of here.
All right, I've got my DFS video with Jacob tomorrow. Got sports betting with Reeves on Friday, then a pick'em show with Cardi on Friday afternoon.
Let's, before we go each week, try to choose the one, like choose the QB, RB, wide receiver, tight end, highest scoring of the slate at each position.
Mahomes, Gibbs, Cup, McBride.
I'll go with Lamb, Dak, Kyron, and Rashee Rice. Oh no, I went 2 wide receivers. I need a tight end.
Kincaid.
Let's go. No, he's not on the main slate. Let's go with Isaiah Likely. He does it again.
Wow. The libs would be so mad. All right, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. We will be back with you.
Like and subscribe.
Check out Liam's channel. Subscribe to my channel. Please like the video if you have not. And I will be back with you guys tomorrow morning.